Well, good morning again, and once more you find me pecking and panting my way up a hill, as I tend to do. Now, we're here at a place called the Pappert Well Track, which is just up above a town called Bonhill, which is kind of the bottom end of Loch Lomond. So we're climbing up through these woods just now because that project that I mentioned last week, I've got another picture that I need to get up here. So that's where we're going. It's about a, what, 4 or 5 mile walk, something like that. Maybe not even that far, I can't remember. But yeah, start off in the woods, climb up a hill, and fantastic views from the top. Okay, so let's go. The walk begins in Bonhill, a couple of miles south of Loch Lomond. We climb away from the town on a path beside a deep gorge above a burn. The track continues across open hillside before entering a pine forest. Deep in the forest we came across the Pappert Well. Unfortunately, it was drier than I would have liked it, but I grabbed a photo anyway. The track climbs out of the forest to the summit of Pappert Hill, which commands excellent views of Loch Lomond and the Southern Highlands before looping back to return to Bonhill. I don't know a great deal about this particular route, other than it's kind of the northern end of the Kilpatricks, looking out across the Highlands here. You can just, don't know how well you can see them, but they're fairly big from where I'm standing. Yeah, so just keep walking just now. It's a couple of miles up to where I want to take the picture I want to catch, and it's basically it's a spring, a well. It's called the Pappert Well. It's been a fairly dry spell of late, so I don't know how much water will actually be flowing out of it, but only one way to find out, and that is to go and see. So that's what we're doing. We've left the woodland behind us for now, walking across this kind of heathland, heather stuff. Still climbing quite gently. So just keep going and see what happens. So I've arrived up here, halfway up this hill here, and this is what I came to photograph. It's called the Pappert Well, and basically it's a spring. They built this kind of wall thing around it, like a well, really, you know. Unfortunately, as I say, we've had a bit of a dry spell of late, and there's not a great deal of water coming through it. A lot more. I was here last year sometime, September or something, and I didn't bring a tripod, which is why I'm back here. I wasn't aware that this was here first time I came up. I didn't bring a tripod, and I wanted to get a picture, and it was just too dark for going handheld without going for a fairly high ISO. So that I wasn't getting the kind of trickling water, the running water that you get, the long exposure of water either, which is what I planned to do for today. But never mind, I'm going to take the picture anyway. May or may not use it. I might come back up at some other point in the near future if we've had a bit more rain. Problem we've got here is it's actually over here it's very muddy underfoot, extremely muddy. As you can probably tell from my shoes. I don't know if you can see my shoes there, they're covered in mud. Going ankle deep in that mud, which was quite unpleasant. Anyway, right, yes, so I'll show you the picture that I'm going to take here. Let me just, well, that switched itself off while I've been rambling. There we go. Put on that movie there so you can see it. Oh, and it's too dark. Hang on, turn that down. There we are. So we're at f4 for that. Just so you can see what's going on. And So we've got the spring up here. Yeah, we've just got the line of water, or what would be water. It's just a kind of line of stones that want just reaching down into the bottom right of the picture. It's sitting here on the rule of thirds up here, and again it's running right down my rule of thirds round that way. So again, fairly simple, fairly obvious picture, but it will do for my purposes. Now what I would prefer, in actual fact, switch that off, would be if it was a bit of a cloudier day. But it's not, so I'll need to make do with what I have got. Switch that on to right. So I was sitting at f10 before I turned my aperture down there, which is actually giving me an exposure time of 2.5 seconds. So that's how long it would have taken me handheld if I'd gone for ISO 100 before. You can't handhold a camera for that long, as you know. So we'll grab the shot anyway, hopefully it'll be okay, see what it's like. Right, off we go. Press the button, 1, 2, 3, click. So we've climbed right up to the top of the hill now. That's the trig point back up there, as you can probably see. What I was hoping for was to catch this huge panorama that we've got here, because you can see right down Loch Lomond up into the Highlands, and on a good day you can see the Arrochar Alps and you can see Ben Lomond. But unfortunately those clouds that I was looking for when I was down at the well in among the trees when we had bright sunlight, moments after I packed up we got hailstones, which was quite unexpected, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, that cloud has rolled in now and the view is gone. The mountains have disappeared into the cloud. So I'll take a panorama. I'm not going to talk you through it because I've done that the last 2 episodes, and I don't want to bore you with it. So all I'll do is I'll show you the track round of what I'm going to take. Turn that down so you can see it, get it a bit brighter there. Show you the track down, so what we're going to take. So we've got in Loch Lomond there, like that, and then sweeping round, we're going over to Ben Lomond, disappearing in the cloud, and as before I shall just move it round just a wee bit more, just so that I'm catching everything and I can cut off the sides, cut off the top and the bottom, and leave with a nice 3x1 shot in the middle. So switch that off. As I say, I'm not going to talk you through the whole thing because that would just bore you yet again. So yeah, turn that back round, turn my aperture back up. I go for f11, why not? I'm in manual mode, and that's me. I'll just start taking the pictures, and this is the finished shot now. So that's it, and the time it took me to take that panorama, it has come on with hailstones. It's actually fairly close to snow, although I don't think it's going to lie. Wasn't expecting this, so I'm going to wrap it up at this just now. Call it a day. If you've liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe, do the usual. If you could hit that little subscribe button down there, it would be good. If you really enjoyed it, hit the bell icon, all the usual palaver. And I'm going to go home now because it's cold and it's wet and horrible. Bye for now.